I didn't think there was anything, and then you put that out
Yep.
this morning, because I thought there should be something more anyway.
Right, so this will be task 3, provide work skill instruction. Okay, thanks everyone. We're going to go over, after we did our assessments, one of the things that we thought we need to get better at and quicker at and have a greater understanding of is our pre-launch safety and equipment checklist, so we can do it without really thinking about it. We haven't sort of had much of an opportunity to consistently see what's in the boat and where it should, or what's in the vessel and where it should go. And I know you guys did a little bit of it last week, but I just thought I didn't get a chance to do that, so I just thought this would be good for all of us to go through and see what we actually know what to do. So I thought we'd break our session up into 2 sections tonight. We'll do the process for the pre-launch safety check, and then I thought we could close the shops up and pretend we've got a call and we've got to get the boat out fairly quick, and that we'll go through all of the procedures, hook the boat up, and actually drive it out and just drive it around, and drive it back in, and then we'll do the hooking and the reverse process to make sure we've done all that properly. So I thought if we could do that today, at least we can then say, well, we've done that, because it was one of the, not weaknesses, but more of the deficiencies that sort of stood out in our testing last week with our survival at sea, about knowing where everything was and what to do. One of the questions I've got is, does everybody know how to get in the building? Like if you're first here?
Yeah, I've got the code on the phone.
Yeah.
No clue.
Yeah.
Never been shown.
You can't get it.
Postcode, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know how to get out.
Hang on, well,
Anyhow, that'll be one of the things we do in the second bit of the session, because I've been caught because I forgot to do, like, I hadn't rehearsed it enough, and to just do it easily and just get in without making a big deal of it. And it's funny if you're under a bit of pressure and you think you've got to get here a bit quick and you forget how to do it. You're standing there for 10 minutes. So that'll be something that we can look at in the second session as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand out just copies of the pre-launch safety and equipment checklist, and then I'll just go through what we're going to do for the rest of the session. Everyone comfortable?
yes, sir.
I should have gone through the exits.
Yes, fantastic, John.
What to do if you're feeling, if you're not feeling well.
When did you photocopy these?
No, I just got it out of the.
Oh, did you?
Which will be the next one. Yeah, I got one that's already been done. Is that okay? Can you just pretend that's vacant? No? Will you shut up?
I'm happy to go.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
I figured if somebody else done the hard work, that's fine, by the way.
Everyone's doing the hard work, that was the catch.
Right, okay, thank you.
Okay.
Right, what I'm going to do is just go through a bit of an outline of what we're going to try and do, so just so that you know how the session's going to run. It'll only be about half an hour or so, and then we can have a bit of a reflection and a chat about where we're up to. So, it's logged me out, so I'll just be a sec while I do this, sorry. Right, so the purpose of what we're doing is to revise and consolidate our vessel pre-launch safety check, the procedure and the record keeping for CG11, which is the name of our vessel at Victoria Flotilla Lake Hume, 11 Lake Hume. So on the radio we're CG11 to VF11. Okay, so VF11 is our home base call and CG11 is our boat or vessel. So we're going to that's what we're doing today. When you get here, where's the paperwork? Where is this?
On the vessel,
On the vessel.
in the folder, black folder, hard folder.
Yeah, and where do we keep that? Like, can you go straight to it now if we go out?
Yep.
Because that'll be one of the things we have to sort of think in our head.
It's actually on the driver's side
Dash.
seat
Yep.
under the cabin.
Okay, very good. Okay, so that's the very first thing that we need. Now, what we're going to do is go through the items on this list, and we're going to read them out one by one. We're actually going to see if you know exactly what they are. And we should be able to just go, yep, or no, or we can maybe share some information.
Right, absolutely.
Now I'm going to leave trailer secure to tow vehicle. Now what do we look for in the trailer wheels?
Wheel nut,
Yep,
grease covers.
yep. Anything else that sticks out?
Yeah,
The
not
wheels.
flat.
Tyres themselves.
Yep.
Bearings good.
Do you just put your foot on just give it a bit of a...
Technically, we can't check the
and the
bearings.
brakes
No.
We can't check the bearings.
Yeah, but
What's in there?
it-
You can,
but
you
we
can push
could
the
at
wheels
least-
and rails, it's
yeah.
not good.
you can just do a bit of a check anyhow, so just whatever the technique you have, give it a kick or a bit of a push, or just have a good look to make sure it's not flat, any of the tyres are flat. Go around, have a look at the propeller, that's the next thing, make sure it's in good condition. The engine legs and fins are in good condition, no cracks, might have hit something. I'm not sure, sometimes it might take a little while for a crack to appear after it's cooled down, and then been overnight, and then it might crack a little bit, so it does need to be looked at every time, even though you think that it should be okay. Same with the hull. And here's the next thing you do, when you're doing the hull check, put the bungs in then. Okay, we don't wait till we get down to the ramp, bungs go in before we leave the shed. Okay. Now disconnect the power cable from the charger, and that's the big, that goes into the back of the boat, into the back of the vessel. Unplug it and just get it out of the way. Now does everybody know about that our battery system has a dual and a single battery switch? Does it, what's the dual position? Do you know the dual
Number two.
position?
Number 2.
And what do? We go, at the moment it's off,
Yep. Which
And
should be
you-
up and down.
yeah, and then we'll practice this each one so we all know and we'll
Yeah.
all do it. It has to go 1, 2. And we do that while we're in the shed. And then when you've turned the battery on, then you can go and start checking your radar, your GPS, your radar systems. Switch on your radios. And just make sure the tank comes up full on the fuel gauge. Then have a check of the navigation lights. Just make sure they all come on, and the cabin deck and search lights are functional. Okay. So you can't do that until you turn the battery on.
If you happen to disconnect the charger
Yep.
and turn the batteries onto 2 and they're still low power,
Yeah, well, that's an interesting question, that one, isn't it? I don't know. What do you think?
What was that?
Hit the
Hang on, what did you just say?
if you were to disconnect the charger, turn the battery into dual position or even single position, and
Yep.
you've still got no power,
What are you going to do?
Very good.
Well, you turn her off and try it again.
okay, well there is an inline fuse there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that because that's a good thing to
There is
make.
an inline fuse.
And that might be one of the more details of the vessel maintenance about what we need. Right. Okay, so record the engine hours on the duty log.
Oh,
Now, does everyone know what that is? The duty log.
duty
Yeah.
log? No idea.
Right,
That's,
we'll have a look at that
also
one.
on the vessel, but normally whoever the captain is or does that, so
Do you know the duty log? I'll have a look at that. Windows are clean and the sliding windows function. Okay, now we get to some of this equipment, and really this is sort of not tedious, but it really helps if you know exactly where everything is. Otherwise you're searching for it, and you can do it in an order that takes more time than it needs to. So where's our fire extinguisher?
It's meant to be under the deck on the left.
To the cabin of the woods, isn't it?
Yep, all right, well
that's
let's,
where it is at the moment.
okay, well tonight, that's in our mind, where is it?
Oh,
Is it
sorry,
there?
it should be, yeah, it hadn't come back, sorry.
What?
The
Is it
boat's
on
not
there?
operational, we haven't got a fire extinguisher.
Is that right?
It's
Well, that's okay then, well, we'll have to
Is
put a
it-
cross on that tonight, someone when we do it, we'll have to do a cross.
yeah.
Right, the 2 blankets, and the towels, and the torches.
Right hand side of the cabin.
Torches are on either side of the
Yep.
stairs,
The boat hook,
along the side of the.
Yep.
Left-hand side?
yeah, now we've got 3 fenders,
Yes.
okay? Make sure they're there, 1 spine board,
Yeah.
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 Front left?
yeah, and then the knife,
There's actually 2 knives. I
2
think.
knives,
Yeah,
and
under
the
the
binocular,
seat.
Under the seats.
and the binoculars, they together?
Yes.
Yep, okay. A handheld compass,
Yes.
Yeah, it's in the little side bit in the left-hand side.
okay, good. And then you've got your safety management system and log for the boat operation. which is in the folder,
Yep.
in that black
Orange folder.
orange folder, in the waterproof bag.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh,
And one portable handheld marine radio.
We grabbed that.
So we get that as we do it.
That
as
as
we
we go.
leave.
Yeah,
It's
right.
in the office.
It's actually-
So, okay, we'll follow that. So is that plugged in and on a permanent charge?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. The bow and anchor well.
It's at the
Up,
front.
up front.
Have anyone used that before?
It's just-
Has anyone deployed that while we've been out on the water?
Nope.
Okay. The Danforth anchor, the bucket on a lanyard, and the yellow buoy, the buoy.
Yep.
Fire pump and suction hose, we don't have that one anymore.
No.
So that one will be removed when we revisit and rewrite. Stern and stern locker, make sure they shut. Those are all, they've got the flaps on them with the locks. No fire hoses all the way down. Now the stern ladder. Do we all know how that works? Pull it out, pull it in.
Yep.
Okay, and just to make sure it's secure, just to need to know. It's a little bit of a tricky thing. It's easy, but it's a tricky thing. The tow bridle and a long line.
They're in the
Back locker?
Locker at the back.
Yeah, back locker. Outboard engine in good condition. Well, we just have a bit of a look and see it's not fuel leaking everywhere, or oil's leaked out or something like that. Just check your stern tie down straps. Now, if we ever go on a long distance trip, like if we go up to Dartmouth or whatever, we put the whole tie down strap on, don't we?
Yep.
Do you do that?
Yep.
Did we do that last time? And then just 2 more in lines, so just 2 more in lines. Right, okay. 4 PFD for passengers or rescued persons.
Yep.
1 lifebuoy ring.
Yes.
Now, sea bag for each member. So does
Yeah,
that mean you've got to bring it and put it
You've got to
on?
bring it yourself.
Yep, okay. Yep, and we've practiced that, haven't we? The EPIRB,
Yep.
and then we have our flags, the Australian flag, the A flag for diver below, and the D flag for difficulties. 1 controller's vest, what's that, just like the yellow fluoro vest?
Yeah.
Yep. What have we got, yellow or orange?
Orange, I think it is.
Okay. And the first aid kit?
Yep.
Where's that, anyone?
Left side locker.
Okay.
In the cabin.
The air splints?
We
We
don't have.
don't have them.
Okay.
They're
We
at night.
decided not to do those, or is that not what we do?
No, been taken out.
Yeah, and the sunscreen,
Yes.
some rubbish bags, a chamois just to wipe the windscreens if we need to.
Yeah.
And we've got, I think we just got 12 bottles of water, haven't we?
Yeah,
Just got
just
some
water.
water. Yeah, just got some water. Okay. Right, is there anything in there that you don't see in your mind when you read the words? Is there anything in there that you can't actually visualise, in other words?
The secret, what is that?
The sea bag is your personal bag that you bring that has your dry clothes, something to eat, and drink of water, and a towel. For
I think
example,
sometimes it's referred to as a throw bag,
Yeah.
yours. Yeah. Just something you throw in with your gear.
Yeah, I've got waterproof version.
Yeah.
for each member. So you
I
bring your.
don't think it's necessarily the last one. Is it more on the ocean?
No, I don't think so. But
Yeah.
it's good to have one if we get back here when you want to change.
Yeah.
Suppose
And
towel
to be honest, it gets in the way a little bit. If we're all throwing bags in,
Yeah.
the vessel's not big enough to move around effectively. But you know,
I throw one in the back of the vehicle and leave.
Yeah,
That's when I
yeah,
need it when
yeah,
I come back.
yeah, it depends. Yeah, it depends really. You make a judgment when you get here what sort of weather it is. If it's cold and wet, you might want to change while you're out there too.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so that's your own personal decision then. Okay. Now the whole point of what we're doing is because I was talking to Andrew about this. Is just trying to get on the water as quick as we can and being on the water because that's what we do and that's why we want to be in the Coast Guard is to get on the water and keep the public safe, especially in a local area. So to do that effectively and safely, we've got to really be confident with this. So I know that if any of you guys or if I sign off, you go, right, when we're out there, I know it's in there and I know it's effective and I know it's in working order. So it's an important thing to be able to do. And you can only get better at it if you do it more than once or twice, because there is a lot of information here to try and retain, and it takes a lot to know how to do it well. So in a moment, we're going to go out and we're going to have a go, and maybe if we work in pairs, at having a look and just working through the boat at the same time, if there's enough room, or you could just share it. Before we do that though, I want to, the other thing I want to be able to do is to make sure we know how to get on the boat quickly and safely, because if you're here by yourself, I don't want you falling off and someone turns up 10 minutes later and you're ass over on the cement with a broken leg or something because you didn't get on the boat properly. So we'll have a look at that, because it sounds simple, but it's a really, really serious first step of safety. Can you get on the boat and get down? Especially if you're going backwards or going up. It is a bit of a height, and if you do fall, you will get injured. So we'll have a look at that first. And then the second thing will be, okay, off we go, let's try and do the check. And then we'll come back and reflect on, is there a better order to do it? Like, is it better to do it down the list, or do you try and remember where things are and tick them off as you see them as you go around the boat? Not sure. Some of the hardest thing I find is making sure I know where all the lights are, where are the switches, because they're not really labelled that well. So knowing where they are and testing them and being confident that the radio works, all the interior lights work, the floodlights work. So that's the thing that I've got to concentrate on all the time, because I haven't done much of it, or as much of it as I want to. Any questions before we just head outside into the shed?
All good.
Right, okay, so the question is, can you identify all the items and where they're stored on the vessel? What do you do to tick them off, and what safety issues do you need to consider when you're doing this process? So two little quick questions before we head out. What's the safety thing to think about? I've named one.
Get on it.
If there's a threat, you made a really good point, Dave, about the electricity. If it doesn't come on, what are you going to do? Okay. If there's going to be a fire, where's the fire going to be at that stage?
Around the back of the boat.
It'll be electrical fire.
The back of the boat. You'd have to think.
Near the battery area?
Yeah.
You'd think that would be. So that's probably just something to consider.
That's your exit out the back of the boat as well.
So if the power's not coming on, I don't know. We'll have to have a session on what to do about that, because that's out of what I'm thinking about right now. So we'll park that to the side, because we can get hung up on that, and we'll just make sure that it's going to. We'll go through the process of making it work. Okay. Okay. The other question I've got is, do we know where the keys are to the vehicle?
Yep.
Do you know how to turn? Do we know how to access the keys and then hook the boat on? Because we do have to move the car back a bit, don't we, to put it on, or not? We'll go and have a look at that in a minute, okay?
It should already.
We might do that.
It normally is at the moment it's being kept off.
It's a secret.
Oh, yes, it is.
So yeah, but if we were concerned that there was something going to, we'd have it on normally, yeah.
Right, okay, we'll deal with that in the second session.
Yeah.
Right, about moving the vehicle. So we're going to be able to move the vehicle around today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Yep, right.
That much shouldn't be an issue.
Right, okay. Are you happy if you guys just work in partners?
Yep.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go out, we're going to look at the back of the boat, the back of the vessel, and figure out how to go up safely. And it's a pretty basic situation, and it's a 3-point rule, isn't it? Having 3 points attached to the boat at all times, and if you can remember that, you should be fairly well right. Okay, so has everybody got a pen?
Yes.
Got a pen? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to move outside now, and then we're going to run through this and actually tick it off. Maybe have one between two. Have you got a clean one? I'll give you a clean one here. All right. You got a clean one?
And on our way, we've got to sign that.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
I'll start the ticking to the new.
You need the lights on? Or?
I don't think so, but you much do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't done
That's okay. First thing would be just to the outside quickly when you turn up.
The easiest thing to do, if you get this in your head, like you said, that's in a bit of an order. So have a look, we'll go to the front. How I would run this process.
Yep.
Security of the vehicle, which is, security of the vehicle. So you're going to do that, we're doing that first. No, as part of the sugar check the vote, and then that kind of thing. So where I would go, okay, security of the vehicle. First, start at the front, you check it there. So you go up from the front, security of the vehicle, drop your wheels up, vote secure. Then you go past, you've got your hole, you go past the fire, then you go back to the boat. So you're pulling it up,
Right, so unplug first. Unplug first. Approach and then unplug the back.
Unplug from the vehicle. So just a little hole down. Yeah, does that make sense? Like that's your process?
Yep.
Come down, look at your tyres. You've looked at your hole.
Yep. That's right. Okay, so that's out of the way. Yep. Make sure no one's going to trip over that.
At this point, you had two people in here, you had someone already in the boat.
Yeah.
You had this picked off in the boat.
Yeah. We're sort of, we're looking at Andrew if you're first here and you're by yourself. So if you're first
my
here.
process. That's my priority there.
Yep.
And go back down the boat.
Okay. Righto. Okay. Now let's get back to getting onto the back of the vessel safely. Okay. Andrew, show us how we do that. That'll be great.
You get on the vessel safely.
With your can in your hand. No, you're right. Right, so we've checked the engine, we've checked here, we've checked our prop, bungs in.
Leave the strap down.
Yep.
So put your buns on.
So that's on.
So you now cover everything from the outside. Quick look up here, tyres are okay, isn't it?
Yeah, tyres are pretty good. We put these inside. Right, okay. Right, who's ticking? Right. Actually ticking as we go. So we've done all that tyre check, the vessel, propeller, engine legs and fins. Right. 3 points of contact.
The whole time.
Well done. Complete, up and over. Okay, so where are we going to go to next? What's your first?
I just made my first mistake actually.
What was that? What
We
did
don't
you
have
do?
keys to the vessel.
What's that,
So
sorry?
if I'm here on my own,
Yeah.
I have to go and get the keys.
To,
They're in there.
for what?
Well, if we're going to check right through the whole process, really, I
We
should
need
grab
the keys for
them.
the boat.
But I can keep all the other things off, but I can't turn anything on. Because I don't have the keys. The key is like.
Even when you turn that on to Jill, you need the key to turn it on for the car to work.
They're in the stuff.
Right. So the key, when you get the key, you get the
Technically, I
key to
should
the
go straight
vehicle.
there.
So the key to the vehicle and key to the vessel, same time.
Yeah, so really, I should have gone there, grabbed that, gone to the vehicle, put the key in, done what I said coming back. This is all about practice, isn't it? This is
But
the,
this is because
Well,
you don't
it's
do
not on
it
our-
on your own. We all
every
do it
time
together.
we-
It's not on our checklist, we need to put that on because that's the thing that you might forget.
normally when we've got everyone out here,
Yeah.
it's done in a group because
Yeah.
we're not running them in the movie.
Yeah, put it on, that's a good point to make. And I'll put that in and we can, because we've got to redo this anyhow, I think, because we haven't got the fire equipment on it anymore. That needs to be removed. So that's a good point, Andrew, well done. Right, very good. Okay. Vessel hull in good condition.
Yep.
Righto. Okay, well let's call it out. What have we got? Let's go through. Okay.
These things are buns.
Yeah, you guys need to get up and physically look at these and see what they are. Like you need to be able to say, the fire extinguisher was the thing, we didn't know about that, did we?
And always play for a place that have a look and see. Check.
It's out of date, so we get stuff on the end of the boat, when it's out of date, and
Yeah.
then the fire brigade come along and
Oh,
service it.
So they're taking it.
So they've taken it.
Yep.
We just have a look at it.
Okay, very good. Jim, there's our
Power roller.
just a little dash.
Oh, I've got one of these on the wall. He's waiting for bed early.
So that's straight up.
That's two more.
You've got power. Thank you.
How did you get the keys? It's not in the-
Okay. Right, we turn the vessel on, get the hours on, get the lights, do all the lights.
Windows working?
You want to go to live feet?
Windows
What do you want to do?
Hang on, wait. No, stop.
I've just got the next one
No,
on.
I've got 3 people.
Yeah, but who's your person?
Right.
Windows function.
Yes.
Check.
Listening to you.
Others are in. Disconnect power from the charger. Batteries check. Fuel.
Hang on. Power up now. Just put it down.
Did you say battery was the fuel? Switch on GPS, make sure it's functional.
Hang on.
What'd you tell the kettle to? Does it work without that? Yep.
It's all electronic.
Fuel? Full. Good.
Right, you're cool.
Okay, radio's on.
Come on.
And the GPS is on. All nav lights functional, please. Nav lights on. Next.
Yeah.
Nav lights on.
GPS on.
You turn it off?
Right, so turn them on.
Turn it on.
Yep.
We've got no nav lights.
That white.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, we want to pretty well down.
Spotlight.
Use your spotlight. Leave it up a second on that. Turn that so it turns inside.
That's the side. Hang on, see that?
Fit inside. No, there's a switch.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a toggle. Alright, let me pull that back.
No.
Hang on.
What
That's
about
the whole light.
Head light. Yeah.
Forward, I mean nav lights.
Head lights.
Should be a single one at the top as well.
Where's that white?
That's the spotlight again. Spotlight again. You'll hear me light up when I say it. I'll be sure it's up there.
Yeah, top left. Yep.
Oh, joy and happiness.
Which one's that one? Can you remember now?
Yes, top.
Top right?
First one in the group.
Top right. Okay.
Now, what about the line light? Single light at the top when you put on when you're still.
That'll be on the, that's a steel light, so that's probably.
Negative, no, got nothing. No,
Hang on, we've got that over here.
no.
Just wait.
Yep. Yes, turn it off.
That's your nav light. That's your nav lights.
Nav light is on.
That's your nav light
That's
switch.
your mooring light.
Yeah.
Right, that's on now, do you want to turn it off? Good. I'm happy now.
What's that back flood there? Where's it?
Is that on there? So go over here.
Is that a separate one?
No.
Right, let's move on to the other stuff now. What's that, Gerard?
No.
This one was.
No. I'll tell you when yes, all right?
And I thought there was something on the side that moved those lights, top lights around as well.
These ones?
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll move, they're on the left one.
they were black and
They've got that toggle switch, isn't it?
There. Hang on. Hang on.
All bars is clear, isn't it?
oh, they're nearly turned on that big left one. Flip that switch.
Is one of them moving?
No, flip that switch again and flip just.
Yeah.
No. No, that's just.
That's another light, but it's not actually moving.
Where have we got that same one?
They're on. Hang on. Oh, hang on.
Alright, yeah, they are. You gotta be careful. Right. Put that one down for you can experiment about that some other time. Have a look now.
All cabin, deck and searchlights functional.
Boy, all that other stuff, let's get it done.
We still got the new one.
And then we'll finish that one, we'll finish this session off after we finish all the other stuff and we'll go backwards.
One of those three.
You want to tell that? That's on that side. So hang on. Switch to the red.
Yeah, that's the
Yours is
one.
working.
So, on this side,
That's a spotlight.
Yeah, and this one's just not working, that's all.
Right, so there's one, so we need another thing? Yeah. So 1, 2,
so it's working on the right, just not on the left.
We've got that. We haven't got the white light on that.
well that's good to know.
Whatever he flipped before, okay, I'll hold on.
Yeah, yours work. So everything's still
The
working.
black button.
So board side works, board negative. Right. Okay. How'd we go? We get through all that other stuff? It's all there?
Hang on, so, stretching there.
Okay, switch off. While you're on this one, have you got anything else? We need this one to be quicker.
Yes.
That's it.
So all the other stuff's right to go? Like all the ropes and the buoys and the...
Yes, boys, all that. All that.
No, we haven't done
Maybe the
it.
next bit, next bit, eh?
We haven't done the bow anchor and the
Yeah.
forward anchor and the bucket.
Right.
And we've done the ones.
We got the life jackets.
Yep. That's it.
Right. All the flags.
Yes.
Vest. Can you see the first aid kit?
Yep.
Right. Sunscreen.
Give me one there.
Chamois. Sunscreen chamois.
One bucket and one.
paddles.
Handheld compass, right? Binoculars, SMS logbook.
That's down with you.
Soundcast.
Okay, on the one hand, we've got a, where are we? Streamlet.
Yeah, it's other essentials. That's right.
Tie down straps, yes. Long distance travel, one tie down strap, one.
They're not there.
Mooring lines, you got two mooring lines? Yes.
Yes. Where you can't turn. You can't turn.
What are you looking for?
They're in the back there in the container.
Okay.
Yeah.
Record engine hours on duty log.
220, yep.
Alright, very good.
You don't just, you can just tick that, that's not on that.
Then goes claim.
Yep.
Is that fire extinguisher? No.
Dave, handheld on
Two
the
by-
top left-hand side, is it?
So that's not handheld,
No handheld?
they're all in there.
Oh, yeah, I'm setting up.
They should be now charged.
I would like to see two by blankets, please. Two by blankets.
Yes. You want to put that thing up? We'll go,
Two by towels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Two by torches, where are they?
Yeah, that's it.
There's like 4 torches.
One by local, where's that?
It's on the ground up there.
Three by fenders.
Fenders.
One by spine board.
Yep.
I agree.
One by knife, very good knife.
Yes.
Where's the lid?
Passenger.
Where's the lid?
Which one?
Handheld compass.
This is why you should have jumped up and done that, so you can see. What's in that?
We're going to do it next. We need to get up. So they are in different spots.
SMS and log for operation.
Yes.
What is an SMS?
Right, you got that folder.
Handheld language. 4 by PFD for passengers.
Under the right-hand side.
Right, one more minute, we'll be done. And then we'll go back
One
into
by
the...
boy bridge.
Yep, up the front. That's right.
Sea bag for each member, yep. Big bird, up in the middle.
Yep.
Australian flag, saw that at the front.
Dice,
And we've got the diver,
yep.
difficulties, control vest, is that there?
Yes, yeah.
First aid kit, where is it?
First left-hand side.
Bag for splints, yes, we've got those. Sunscreen, rose bags, chamois, and water.
Water, yes.
Water's in front. And we've 5 bottles of.
Righto. Okay. Pretty good. Righto. Let's go back into the situation room. And we'll finish off. You right to get down?
Yep, we're just going to up.
Here it comes. What am I allergic to? Concrete.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
All right, let's rock and roll. Well done. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure if you did fall off, mate, that
Oh, did he call it on camera?
well, I was a bit concerned. Anyhow, Right.
So you're going home to edit this?
Edit.
Right.
No, I was just going to do it straight off as one here.
Yeah.
Right, I thank you for that. Right, it's funny, it seems easy, doesn't it? It's one of those funny little things, you just got to have an opportunity to do it again and again and again. So well done on that. A couple of things that come out that were really good. One, we've got a couple of issues that we need to sort, haven't we?
Yeah.
You obtain the vessel keys and
Yeah.
first.
Yep.
No, that's not really an issue, that was just something I missed going around, but
You picked it,
you
mate.
pick it up quick, you're not
It's
going
not
to
on
leave
there.
without it.
Yeah, but it's a thing that
It's not meant to be on there,
Yeah.
you're not going to leave, both of them are in the,
Yeah,
you can't leave without it,
Yeah.
because
You
both
can't leave
keys
without
are
it.
locked in there.
yeah. No, I was thinking more about the actual in the budget.
It's
Like, what do we got?
Yeah.
Just with the
Floodlight.
Radio.
floodlights and knowing where all the switches
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, we don't
And
know.
And the handheld radio's gone somewhere.
They're not well marked.
Yeah,
No,
well,
they
maybe
need to
we
be
can.
labelled.
Yeah, we might be able to do, that might be something we can figure out as well, maybe to label. Just for people who are new, it might be all right if you've turned them on and off 100 times, but if you're relatively new, it can be hard to do. Righto, okay, thank you very much. That's our first session coming to a conclusion. So we've done that. So we've moved to the vessel. Right, and we've had a bit of a reflection on what we've done. Now, the reflection component's usually where we get most of our learning. If you were going to give one good piece of advice to one new person in the process of filling out the pre-launch safety and equipment checklist, what do you reckon it might be? Just one piece each.
Practice.
Don't all talk at once.
Okay?
Two different groups doing that made it harder.
Yep.
Would have been better for all four of us, because we're never ever going to do it in, one person might be stuck doing that on their own,
Righto.
but you're never going to have two different groups doing it at the same time. That's the
Right.
difference.
So the next session, we'll just have one.
That would be easier.
Righto.
Sorry.
Okay, right, we're going to end this session now, and I've got just a evaluation sheet if I can get you to fill out. That'll be really handy. Then we'll and then we'll have 5 minutes, and then we'll get into the next session if we can. And what we're going to do in the next session is we're going to close the whole building off, and we're going to pretend that you're first year, and then we'll teach each other how to get into the building first, and then what to do from a couple of steps as far as that's concerned, because you can get caught up. So I hope, because the reality is there might only be 3 of us that are available on a call. So if somebody can get here, because we've just spent nearly half an hour out there, if we can get here and do it quicker in 10 minutes, I mean, that's 20 minutes quicker on the water, that's a lot of time.
Someone's life.
Yeah. Anyhow, so we'll finish off here. I'll give you a bit of a reflection sheet. We'll have a break for 10 minutes or so, and then we'll set up and start from outside.
Have you stopped the video now so I can talk to you about your reflection sheet?